It's been a while, hasn't it? Oh wait, hold on, I forgot something. Forgot my tea in my Doctor Who cup, which Thomas sent me. And Thomas, I know it's been years, but I really do mean to return the favor. Anyway, it just seems the last few years I just don't have a whole lot. Didn't have a whole lot to spare. Let's just put it that way. Or I'm a procrastinator, or just basically I'm a jerk. Anyway. Oh, and that getting up to go get something, which I forgot, that was for Tricia and Gordon. Cheers. Well, yeah, so any of you that have been following this, this drama, I had that new job. I thought things were going to work out okay, but it didn't. And probably in hindsight, of course, I never do the smart thing. No, I never do. In hindsight, I should have kept the job that I had before, that I worked for 2 years, because it was basically a cakewalk. It was just like the perfect job for me. The problem is it didn't pay shit. And so I was just really stubbornly trying to hold on to this apartment. I was stubbornly trying to stay at Kong Island. And so, like anything, I'd cut back expenses as far as I could. You know how the government, you know, it's like, oh, we're running a deficit or something, you know, and it's like, okay, cut spending, cut spending. What do they call that word? They want, well, basically it's a terrible word. It means tightening your belt. I forget what it, oh well, can't think of it. But they were talking about this word that means, like, you know, basically suck it up. Everybody's going to have to just, you know, deal without these programs. And, you know, like, we'll close the DMV, you know, 3 days out of the week, and, you know, be power outages, and, you know, your trash won't get picked up as many times, you know, the less hours at the post office. And what is that word? Oh, doggone it. It's a gift for not having a script. I'll think of it later. But these policies they've had in Greece, and it doesn't work, really. It just makes things worse. I'm in the I guess it's Keynesian philosophy, is that even though it might take time, but it's better to just come up with ways to pump money into the economy. That's what Roosevelt did during the Depression, and things, it did help until he stopped, and then things kind of got sucky again. So, what do they call that? But anyway, what I was trying to do, I mean, I cut back as much as I could, and the other thing is you bring in more income. I mean, that's the option. And usually, you always hear the right, they never talk about bringing in more income, because they're against raising taxes. And basically, that's what government needs. So I was going to fit politics into this somehow. The mind rambles. So I stubbornly said, look, I'm going to quit this job. I'm going to find something better that pays more. As it turned out, this place, it was looking okay. Then they switched me to this other supervisor, and this other supervisor, I really think he was an asshole. He's one of these guys that's very, very two-faced. Like he's all, and I heard it from other people, he's all like cool to your face, but then he talks shit about you. Worse than I do. Which I've been accused of, but well, see, I don't see that, really. I mean, if I'm going to talk shit about you, I'll do it right here. Mainly if I do that sort of thing, it'll be advice to somebody I like. It'll be like, watch out for that guy, which is what a few people did at my the new job. So that didn't work out, and things just really fell apart. Anyway, so I'll be leaving Kong Island, and I've pretty much, I said by hook or by crook, I'm going to stay here, and I've pretty much tried everything I could, and things just didn't pan out. Oh. Anyway, all right, time to don the fez. Greetings, fellow citizens. This is Citizen Kong, and welcome to another Fez Night. Tonight's Fez Night shall be called Goodbye, Mr. Fez. Usually many times I don't explain why I come up with the title. I mean, it's obvious on one level, but the other one is there's a great movie called Goodbye, Mr. Chips, which I think there's two versions of. And if I'm not mistaken, the second version was with my favorite actor, Peter O'Toole, which, by the way, I watched a movie the other night, Dean Stanley. Highly recommend it. It's Peter O'Toole is like, he's really, really old in that. I mean, it's getting near like down to the last few films he's made. And he's just still so good. A really, really great movie. You know, it deals with the upper class, and it's like right around the turn of the century when the automobile was just coming in, you know, a toy for rich people. And it deals with Sam Neill, I believe is his name, plays the dean. The dean, like a religious kind of guy, Anglican church. It was really good. So I thought, goodbye, Mr. Chips, in case you don't get it. Yeah. Hey, I'm not closing my account by any means. So at some point, who knows, I'll be back. I'll probably post some videos or something. But until I get like a good place to do a Fez Night, I don't know. I mean, the future's kind of up there. I appreciate you, Monk, and you know, and Stan, and saying, yeah, come out to the Chicago, and then you show all that snow outside. And then you say something like, I've got nothing better to do. I can't imagine I've got so much stuff and just like up and just going somewhere else without any kind of like work lined up. It's just too much. I would much rather get back on my feet and take a few days off and go out there for a visit. God, talk about a major life change. It was big enough for me to think about moving from San Diego here to Oceanside because there still seems to be a little bit more work out there in North County. I mean, this last job I was working in Vista, so any of the locals know, like San Diego, Normal Heights to Vista, it's a long friggin' drive. Long drive. So part of me is actually kind of relieved. The place was, I felt cold. I mean, it was so big, it was very cold and impersonal. Even though with my immediate coworkers, I loved them all. I mean, they're great, great people. I mean, really. I mean, these are some really good guys, except for that one supervisor. Yeah. And as I said, I got hired. I told you before. There were two other guys that got hired along with me along the same time. Boom, fired one guy the first day. Boom, three weeks later, fired the other guy. I was getting to the point where I thought, yeah, they're going to keep me. I was starting to not worry so much. And then boom, they lowered the boom. And it's not really anything that I did per se. I mean, it's not clear to me. And in fact, In fact, it was so dubious the way they let me go, is that I qualify for unemployment insurance, which is good. At least that's something. Which, by the way, I don't think I can leave the state to go move somewhere else and still collect unemployment insurance. Anybody else know that? I don't know. At least for California. Didn't really mean to ramble so much. I did watch your Fez on a Shingle, Fez Night there, Monk. Yeah, because I hinted the thing about John. John, like I'm going to go to Messina. I know you're trying to be funny, but oh my God, the thought. Oh my. What else? Facebook. Yeah, I kind of was avoiding Facebook too, as well as YouTube, but I did kick over there for a little bit, and then Timmy. I watched Timmy's video with his puppet, his Father Timmy thing, and he says that Sunday is going to be, he's going to be the new Fez Night. Well, Timmy, first of all, the good side about this is that you won't know where I live anymore, and I know where you live. The other thing is, it's not Fez Night unless there's a Fez. And thank you, Monk, for supporting Fez Night. And sure, I mean, I've always said this, many, many times, that Fez Night. I mean, like my other videos where I do a movie review or I talk politics, which I started out doing, but Fez Night just became like this grab bag. I mean, because I got tired of doing individual videos, and I just thought, I don't know, out of laziness, or at first it was in a way to promote new subscribers, actually. I mean, that's what it developed into for a while. Then YouTube made it hard for me to use it for that. And because people would subscribe to Fez Night to hear me read their channel name on Fez Night. Oh, excuse me. So I got so many trolls and sock accounts, but it made my sub list go up. I mean, I would get 5 new subscribers, 6 new subscribers per week on a good week. A lot of times it's just 1 or 2. But then it evolved into something else. Fez Night, it's not like truly innovative, but it has. If you look over the years, it's evolved or devolved, which some of you may say. But I've always said is like, why would anybody watch this? Why? And there was a comment left by somebody on Timmy's video, the puppet video. And dude, I thought you were cool with me. You seem bitter over something. But for those of you that do watch Fez Night, that do support Fez Night, that do comment, and there's a lot of people, obviously. I mean, there's over 100 hits on average, sometimes lower, sometimes more. People that have at least clicked on the video for a little bit, but don't leave a comment. So there's a lot of you people that I don't hear from, but yet you do watch it. And I've said it many times before, is why? Hell, I wouldn't watch this stuff, But yet, some of you do. And you know what? I'm going to say this, that those people, my demographic, fits into a small group, okay? This is not something that's popular. I mean, if something that's popular is actually good, then Jim Morrison would have won a Grammy, okay? I mean, that's not always a measure. Sometimes something that's popular is really good, like the Beatles. They were good, But then there's other things that are popular, like Justin Bieber, which is crap. It's shite. So you can't really go by that. But there's certain things like that fit a certain niche group. And Fez Night, the people that support it, the people that watch it, the people that tend to like it, dare I say, are intelligent and creative people. And these are just a few names that come to mind. I want to thank some of these people, and I know that I'll forget other people. but these are the ones that come to mind. These are the ones that have been in the spotlight most recently. My spotlight within my view. Monk and Stan and Betty. Betty, who's a relative newcomer, but we talk on Facebook, and seems like a very, very nice person. Too nice for Monk. Excuse me. And John Cox over there in England. Great guy. And if you've watched any of his videos, you keep closing your channels. You don't leave your channel open, but you've posted some very, very funny videos, very dry British humor, the kind I like, very smart and dry. That kind of it's not a pie in the face. Benny Hill was British, but his more like a vaudeville. Not all British humor is like that, but we're talking that sort of that dry one, which seems like they're being serious, but they're totally taking the piss. Methadone for Life. Methadone for Life, a very, very good guy, and who came to YouTube as a very important vlogger, vlogged politics, and even though he hasn't been around, he still pays me compliments and still says he enjoys Fez Night. And I think part of it is that some of these people, that Fez Night is not so, it's not that it's so great, but dare I say, I think some of these people actually like me as a person, not for, being entertaining, Oh, by the way, Timmy, if you're going to do Fez Night, you need a Fez, and you have to be less entertaining. Sure. Robbie, not the one in Chicago. Robbie in that country that's down under, but it's not Australia and it's not New Zealand. He used to be on here as Smother Teresa. And dare I mention your last name? I won't, but you're on Facebook. Thomas, a.k.a. Boba McGraw. Really, really good guy. And who came on YouTube, who got mega, mega hits on YouTube when he came on and did a thing on Irish accents. When you used to vlog, it was always smart stuff. It was always pertinent stuff. And if I ever have a chance to go if I had a chance to travel, I'd like to meet all of you. Hopefully, my dream is to go to the UK, but I think doing an ancestry thing, I will go to Ireland first, and then I'd like to see it all. I'd like to see Ireland, Scotland, and England, Wales and Cornwall, the whole thing, but it's expensive. I'm a bum. I can't even afford to stay here. Dream on. I was thinking, you get old, and the thing when you reach a point where your dreams, your dreams aren't going to be fulfilled, you can go one of two ways. You can sort of accept it and just be content, or you can be bitter and angry. I haven't decided which way I'm going to go yet. Sammy in Australia. Very nice lady who did her own Fez Night in the past. And I mean, look at these people. These are not the idiots and clowns of YouTube, okay? And last but not least, L. Brookman. Now, L. Brookman has been doing, he's been blogging, and he has his own, through some website, so he can have his own, L. Brookman URL or whatever, and I've always respected L. Brookman's intelligence. 90% of the time. If things were different time, when they used to have those, what was it, Crossfire, I would have really loved sitting across from L. Brookman and having a discussion, like in the old Art Buchwald type of world. Of course, he started out he'd be drunk and write like I had no brain and stuff like that. But over the years, I think we've developed mutual respect. Am I wrong in saying that? Anyway, he does some really, really great writing on his blog, and a lot of it's not political, and you see another side to him. And it's almost like you could put that together and put it as his memoirs, because he's talking about his past, which can be quite interesting if you're a good writer. And you know what they say, you take a creative writing class, they say write what you know, pretty much. It's a good start. Unless you want to be a science fiction writer or something. But usually it's based on something that's affecting your world, your life. Yeah, so I did it. I have another Fez Night tradition. I mentioned L. Brookman. What was I going to say? It had something to do with something that Monk said regarding L. Brookman. Monk or Mike, right? Mike. Something else. Something of the brain. The brain's just going. It was back in the day when we first met. He used to kind of take the piss out of me. But anyways, L. Brookman's a real good supporter. And when I do, I go read his vlog and I comment. I don't get over there as much as I should. But yeah, he's a good guy, even though he really pissed me off sometimes. One thing that really brought us together is we had a common enemy, Timmy. Oh, what else? I've got to say something. I've got to say something about Jeff Davis, aka Nigel Cromwell, a man that loves all human beings, regardless of race, gender, culture, religion. A true humanitarian, a man that puts his heart out there, that shows that we can have faith in humanity. Whenever I start doubting the world, that it's a dirty, backstabbing, underhanded kind of place, I look to Jeff Davis for inspiration on that. I mean, he is a man, a harbinger of good taste, of class, a very prudent thinker. He is not given to wild notions and pseudoscience. He's a person that you can trust for good advice, a man that will never kick another man when he's down, a man that that you can count on it. You can count on him to be there. I mean, he's a true Good Samaritan. Now, of course, everything that I mentioned before, Jeff Davis is the exact opposite. The exact polar opposite. Yeah, that's because what you wrote on my Facebook, but some of your behavior in the past. And people wonder, why do I even I should remove that stuff? Why do I even let you say that stuff? But I've always said, let the public judge themselves. And sure, there's people that love what you do, but I don't think much of those people. I really don't. And so I'd say with any troll or hater on my channel, pretty much the only time, I've said it many times, rarely, very rarely, I would block somebody or run them off. One was Space Monkey, because he just started creeping me out so much. He sent me PMs and he's tried to mend his ways, and I haven't seen him around. He probably still watches, I don't know. And then really, really blatant racism, right there in your face. Look, I have racist tendencies. To be honest, I think we all do. The difference is that we try to acknowledge it and try to say to ourselves, that is a side of myself that I don't like. I don't like that that's come out. That for me, it's not so much race, but it's there are cultural stereotypes that I hold, and this is probably one of the things that I say that comes out as racist. These shows like the Wild West and TV shows that they made into movies and they put Will Smith in it. I go, come on, come on. The original show had a white guy. Why are you doing this? Besides, it doesn't even make sense. A what is it? A Secret Service man during the Grant administration that rides around on a horse and goes to different places and represents the U.S. government. In that era, in that time setting, it's not going to be a black guy. And I know the Wild West was a fantasy show. Okay, it's a fantasy, but come on. You got to throw us something, At least the clothing seemed authentic. Now, call me a racist for that if you want, Yeah. But the difference is that I do acknowledge that we know the difference, even though that we all stereotype. But we just don't. We just have to sit there and go, wait. I can't be thinking that way. Sometimes stereotypes. What does I have a shirt that says stereotypes save time? Because sometimes when you got a quick think, you gotta you can't stop to think. You're gonna profile. You're walking down the street. You see some guy that you stereotype is he's wearing a hoodie. You can't see his face. He's got his hands in his pockets. He's walking towards you. He has a menacing gait. Then you're your alerts go up, right? They say, it is for a fact, black people, African Americans, are more afraid of other African Americans than they are of white people. Take that as what you mean. Now I'm talking, people in a substrata, economy-wise. This stuff with my work and everything else, and they say, I think even Obama mentioned it, that the top 1%, the top 10%, they seem to be doing fine and they're doing better. And the rest of us, our wages are flat, or they're going down. Our wages are flat while the price of food goes up, the price of housing, price of gasoline. I know some people say, oh, they get mad when the price of gas goes up. Well, that's something that's in your face, The media helps with that. When you go to the pump and you see it going in your car. And for some reason, as Americans that drive, gasoline seems like it's like it should be free, It's gasoline. It's just so much a part of our love for cars, is that, I don't know, it's just in a different category. It's in a different category than food, Food is just sort of a necessity, but we've turned gasoline into a necessity. But when all those things, and wages stay flat, or you lose your job and you can't find a job that'll pay you the same because the economy's changed, especially when you're older. I think one good sign is, though, employers are starting to recognize that older people, for a while they're like, oh, I'm going to hire somebody young because they got more energy and they're more pliable and they'll pay attention. But when you're older, you have other attributes that are more important. Part of it is showing up. And there's sort of a degree of confidence and life experience that can make a difference, a big difference. So, sure, man, I've been definitely bummed. Felt like they pulled the rug out from under me, but just try to carry on. Now, if only I can stop procrastinating about going through all this stuff. It's like, oh, I've lived here for over 20 years, and I'm somebody that just impulsively collects stuff. And I know it's not going to be that hard to get rid of a lot of it, but it's just seems insurmountable going through all of it. And yeah. looking at my skateboard. Skateboard's going to go. Or maybe not. I was thinking if I relocate to someplace where, and I'm thinking to stay more center, I might even move closer to the center of the city, where from wherever I'm staying, I might not be able to park my car close by. Skateboard is nice. Get on the skateboard in the morning, skateboard out to the car. Cover blocks within minutes. It's little stuff like that. It's all part of my process of the terrible procrastinator that I shoot myself in the foot. This is the biggest ways that one of the major ways that we set ourselves up for failure is procrastinating. And that is one of my big ones. Okay. I'm definitely keeping the Fez. So, is there anything else? Anyway, it's been wonderful. I can't say it's probably going to be a while. Or maybe never at all. I mean, part of it is I've been stubborn. But I've got over 700 videos posted or something. I don't know. Part of it is stubbornness where Fez Night changed a long time ago, and part of it was just to say, I'll show them. I'll keep making these videos. I'll keep making Fez Night. And then some people are really kind and come by and go like, hey, where's Fez Night? You know, and I go, oh, I missed. And you know, I really, really love the part where I sit here and I vent and you know, stream of consciousness stuff. Did that word come into my, almost pop into my head? It almost did. It was like almost right there. Dire straits. No, it's not. That's not it. The word that means, God, it's a policy where they cut everything back. Basically you end up spiraling like Greece did. Germany was the one saying, Greece, that's what you need to do. What was I going to say? Yeah, this talking into the camera, the catharsis, that part's good. The waiting for it to process and upload, that always sucks. I hate that part. And then reading your comments, it's such a joy. And then maybe getting up Monday morning before work and checking my email and seeing there's comments for my video, and then answering comments. All right, everybody. Have a great week. Have a great month. Have a great year. And thank you for watching. Goodbye, Mr. Fez. Cheers.